Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Cimnanya, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. So this video is something that I really found very interesting because some people's mindset is just very dirty and not nice. And it is amazing how they, okay, at least this person agree that there is racism because some of them do not agree that there is that there is racism. So she agreed there is one, but she is telling us that racism will always be around as long as we keep pointing out the difference in skin color. So she's trying to tell me that she is also colorblind because I do not like anybody that says I am colorblind when it comes to race. They already know that we did not start anything that got to do with race. It was what they created, right? To differentiate whatever they wanted to differentiate. So right now she is trying to tell us that we have to get rid of color, that we will get rid of or stop talking about racism. It's going to go away. I mean, it's going to stop. So I am asking, madam, it means that you don't know that you are white and I am black. Is that what you're trying to tell me? Right? If that is what you're trying to tell me, it means you are trying to gaslight me and you are trying to make me feel like we are making things up because that is how they make it feel like most times that we are making all this up. But she agreed that there is racism, but we have to stop this color thing because when we talk about color, I mean, it breeds more racism. You know what? Let's get into this video.
Unfortunately, no, that's not why racism will always be around. Because you see, we have to point out the differences in skin color because society has put so much importance on skin color to the point where those skin color differences make a difference in the experiences that people who are not white have. It makes a difference in what resources are available, what opportunities they have access to, whether or not they are demonized by society or represented in the media. It makes a difference when it comes to legislation that is passed and how that legislation will affect the communities of people who are not white. Skin color has been put into a position of having importance in our society because white people created race, Europeans created race to have a value, to the point where America was built on that idea that race has meaning, that race is even a thing, although it does not have any biological reality associated with it. As long as our society keeps putting importance on the differences of skin color, and as long as there continues to be inequality, inequity, because of the differences of skin color, and these systems who operate on that basis continue to thrive, and people continue to ignore that it exists and is happening, that is why racism will always exist. That is why people like me get up here and say what we do and try to educate people like this. Race has to be recognized, and even more so, the effects of the belief that race is a biological reality need to be recognized. The many ways in which race plays a very large role in the experiences of non-white people has to be recognized by white people. That is why in my videos, I will be directing what I'm saying towards white people a lot of the time, because we don't have the collective power to make the changes. We need white people to come to the realization that they do in fact carry power and privilege in a society that was built for them to succeed based on nothing but their skin color and their European ancestry. When white people come to this realization, when white people sit with it, regardless of how uncomfortable it might be, and when white people become more conscious of experiences outside of their own and how race dictates a lot of those experiences, that is when we can truly move forward with actual change. We're not going to stop doing our part, but we also need white people to do theirs. Because in a society built off of anti-blackness and white supremacy, white people hold the power to make actual equitable change. But it takes getting uncomfortable, sitting with the uncomfortable truth, not trying to run and escape from it because it makes you feel icky, or because it hurts your feelings, or because you get defensive and think that we hate you. If this is going to end, we have to work together to end it. And that takes white people being quiet and listening to experiences that are outside of their own, sitting with that reality, sitting with that information, and then researching what it's going to take for them to dismantle the anti-blackness they have inherently in their minds and in their outward view, and then put that change into work, into practice, to where it makes positive reflections on the lives, the experiences of, and the communities of Black, Brown, and Indigenous people. Talking about race, talking about skin color and how it's different for everyone and how it affects our lives differently is not racism. And when white people understand what racism is, then we can get somewhere.
Okay, y'all, I'm giving you a warning. This might be a controversial take, so if you don't want to hear a controversial take, maybe do a little swipey swipe. Just giving you a heads up. All right, let's get into this. White people, if you find yourself in a conversation about race with a Black person, especially one that you have started, that is not the correct time to be looking for confirmation that your beliefs are correct or to try to get validation from them. What do I mean by that? Let me go ahead and give you an example. So my buddy is a Black man who works in the service industry. The other day he comes to me, he's like, man, I don't know, something is in the air, because I swear to God, there's been at least 3 separate times this week that people have started conversations about race with me, and they're all white, and I just don't get it. So he tells me about this most recent time where this older white lady comes in and immediately starts talking about race. And she just starts rattling off. She's just so apologetic, just like talking about the whole George Floyd thing, Sandra Bland. And it's just, she's just saying things like, I'm just so devastated that the world is like this right now. It never used to be like this. And the only reason I'm even talking about this is because I, as a white person, see this happen all the time. In her heart, I'm sure she had the best of intentions. And I'm sure my friend felt the same. But the issue with the things that she's saying right now is that she's taking a Black experience and putting it through the lens of her as a white woman and making it about her. I'm so sick. I'm so devastated. The world never used to be like that. When Black people, if you ask them, will tell you this has been going on for a very long time. And the question that I need to ask all white people, including myself, is what's the reason behind starting these conversations? And if we're being honest with ourselves, I think we're probably not going to like the answer. One of the worst things that you can get called as a white person in today's culture is a racist. Nobody wants to be labeled a racist, and that I understand. But as opposed to actually listening to the Black experience and asking them about it, a lot of us just want to hear confirmation from Black people that, number one, we're not racists, and two, that we're on the right side of history. So now, on top of having to educate us about their struggles, now we've made Black people responsible for how we feel about their struggles. And that should not be the responsibility of Black people. We can have the purest intentions in the entire world, and I won't take away from that. But if you're making a struggle that is not yours about you, you're actually just hurting the person struggling. Opening up a dialogue is fine, but you have to make space so that way you can actually listen to the person who's affected by it. If you ask Black people to share their experience, they will. If you ask questions, they will give you answers. And if you enter those conversations not to be proven right, but to actually listen, then maybe we might learn something. It's not about being right. It's about actually listening to Black people when they're recounting their struggles and changing our personal habits that keep them in a system of oppression. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you next time.
So this is all I got from this video, and let me tell us something. It's always, white people are always very quick to say racism will always be around as long as we keep pointing out the difference in skin color. Imagine how we will all get along without all that telling us, The truth is that we all know that the problem is also the skin color. And why are you telling us that we have to start pointing out the difference in skin color? Are you colorblind? Can't you see that the skin color has always been there all this year, causing problem and all that? And we did not create that. You all created that. And when you all wake up to tell me that you don't see color, or you are colorblind, you are a liar. You are just blatantly racist, because it's only a liar that says that I don't see color. You all see color. And they keep telling you don't talk about it, because when you stop talking about it, it's going to go away. It's not going to go away. We're just going to keep talking about the anti-Blackness and all that, in white community and the rest of it, right? So when people say that we should stop talking about the skin color and stop pointing it out, because it's when we point it out that, we see the difference, like, we get to notice that there, from the onset, we already know, like, race was not created by black people, or not until you all are ready to put an end to it. We did not create that. You all created that, and you all already know that the system was not designed for black people. The system was designed to make them feel somehow, why it elevates you people. So we are supposed to keep shrinking for you all to keep growing, That's why she is saying stop pointing it out. So when we stop pointing out, it's probably like, people won't be saying color again. People will be color blind and the rest of it. That ain't happening, We just got to keep pointing it out. We just have to keep speaking it to, especially people like you, because people like you that come out to write things like this are the problem. When they tell you that when we talk about the color and the races and all that, that is when, we kind of create a lot of problem and try to create more division. It is not division. It is us telling you how we feel and how we've been treated and the rest of it. And if you all are not ready to talk about it, or if you all are not ready to make changes, or if you all are not ready to make life better and make things better, then there is no need trying to tell us to stop pointing at it, because we definitely will keep pointing at it till the end of time. That's all I got to say. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.